Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
Episode 14, HorrorVision. We got the quarantine special for you, Shaun of the Dead. Alright, you're joined by your regular host, John, along with...
Bugs.
And special horror comedy aficionado, Big Al.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
Gee, thanks, fellas.
What did you say the last time?
That,
Oh,
he said
hey,
that.
hey guys.
Oh, hey
thanks,
there,
fellas.
fellas.
Hey there,
Oh, hey
fellas.
there,
Well,
fellas.
it's good to have you back, Al. We appreciate it. How's your quarantine been going?
Dude, I'm fucking losing my mind.
Yeah. If they don't open
Didn't
it,
Anne Frank be quarantined for like 2 years?
yeah, she died, Bug.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
but she was like
we
fighting
all
for her
die.
life,
We're not even technically quarantined.
and she still ended up dying.
Hey,
Yeah,
what's the
true.
message there? Just
True.
give up, right? That's not a good message to put out there. Fuck you. Come on, Bug. You're better than that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? It's my mistake.
Hey, you know who didn't give up? Shaun in Shaun of the Dead. That's a good message for people.
On friendship, yes.
You could just fuck up and just have a shitty plan, but if you just keep going, sometimes it'll work out for you. That's the message I got from this.
I don't think there was a message to take from this movie.
Were we watching the same movie?
Well, what message did you get from the movie, Bug?
If there's a zombie apocalypse, make sure you have your best friend and your step pepper. Or step pep.
Well, he would have been better off if his best friend wasn't with him, actually.
Yeah. The message I got was if you ever find yourself in that situation, just pretend to be a zombie and the zombies won't know you're not a zombie.
They actually should have just stayed in that high-rise building that they were in.
Yeah, that was probably the best spot for them.
You literally just stay in the high-rise building and you take like dressers and drawers and just block the stairs and they can't get to you.
Yeah, to my knowledge, it looked like they were not on the first floor, so you had to at least climb up onto the balcony, and I don't think zombies can climb balconies.
Not those zombies.
Yeah, the apartment building had better security than the pub.
Yeah, especially because the pub's on the ground floor. And for being real secure, it had a lot of windows. Like, a lot of windows.
Yeah, he definitely didn't think that one through.
That was his character. Like, he was just like the everyman, just trying to get through life and like that. So I mean, not to, I absolutely love this movie, and there's a ton of positives. It's very well done, but I really only have one negative, and that is that there is actually very little character growth in this whole entire movie.
But is that something that you're watching a horror comedy for?
No, but I just like so this for being a horror comedy, it does actually have a lot of emotional moments. Like it's just a really well done. Like also in life, sometimes people don't change and stuff like that. But like his buddy never got any better. I guess there's consequences for it at least. Like I don't know.
Yeah, he turned into a zombie.
That'll get you. That will get you.
But at least he got to keep playing video games.
That's true. That is true. Ah, bug, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, what'd I do this time?
Nothing. I was just getting that. I figure like if I get one in now before you fuck up, then I don't have to yell at you later.
I appreciate that about you.
That's what I appreciate about you. All right, let's get into a little cast and director shit. Movie came out in 2004. I did not see it in theaters. I was actually aware that when it was coming out, it was a weird story how I found out like this movie was coming out. So this was right around the time that the Dawn of the Dead remake was coming out, and I saw that in theaters with I had to go with Jonas because I was like 14 at the time. I couldn't get into the rated R movie by myself. Um, but I remember looking up something online before um, this was coming up, or before that movie was coming out, Dawn of the Dead, and there was like this link to Shaun of the Dead. And I was like, what the fuck, Shaun of the Dead? And I clicked on the website, and they had like this little flash game on there, and it was you were just Shaun, and you were throwing the like the vinyl records at the zombies. You had to try to hit them like a stupid cheesy little like flash game. And that was like my first memory of this, like playing this. And then I went and saw Dawn of the Dead, and I'm pretty sure there was a trailer for it beforehand, and I was like, this movie like kind of came out of nowhere. But I guess if you were British, you would be at least kind of aware because the director Edgar Wright, he made the TV show Spaced, which was like a real popular British show in the early like 2000s. And so like that was his like first big break before he made Shaun of the Dead. But dude, like the two main characters, played by Simon Pegg, Shaun, and Nick Frost, his buddy Ed, they were on that show. So like that's how they all got to know each other before they made this. So if you were like a British person, you probably were more familiar that this movie was coming out. But this movie like kind of came out of nowhere, and like I like when that happens. Like a movie like this comes out of nowhere that you weren't expecting. It turns out to be awesome. Like it's a pleasant surprise. I don't know, like if you guys knew anything about it when it was coming out, but
Now, was this movie actually released in theaters in the U.S.?
I think it was limited.
Okay, that would make sense because I know like we fought and got our independence from England, so we owe them nothing.
We owe them nothing. If anything,
Nothing.
they owe us. We came and saved them in World War II.
Yeah, I feel like maybe like that's somewhat washed, you know.
Hey,
the fact that
back to back World War champions, write it down.
okay.
Do I have to write that down? Notepad's pretty full right now.
All right, Bug.
But yeah, no, I had no idea this was coming out. I was a wee lad, and
Yeah, you couldn't even read yet. Well, that's not a point of reference. You still can't read.
I still can't read. Come on.
That's on me.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Well,
But,
then learn to read.
Plus, I'd pretty.
I got
strict
hooked on
parents.
phonics.
So Edgar Wright, he's directed some pretty. I like his body of work. I don't really think he's made a bad movie. There's some I like less than others. There's some like one particular that sticks out for me is Baby Driver. I think you were with me, Al, when we went and saw it in theaters.
Yes, I was.
But it's not a bad movie, but I wanted to like it more.
Yeah,
if that makes
I was
sense.
the same way. I like the car scenes of that movie were awesome.
Well, that's something
I could have done without the love story.
That's something that he started in this movie, his first release, that you can see it in all of his other movies. His signature style, if you picked up on it, is the way he does those jump cuts to like montage something like in Shaun of the Dead when they're like, well, this is the game plan. Like, we're going to go get my mom. We're going to do this. We're going to go, and then we're going to go to the pub. And then, like, it's all that's cut in. Like, that's been done before, but he perfected it, and that's, like, his style. Like, that was in Baby Driver, Hot Fuzz, like, all those movies. Even when he directed Scott Pilgrim, like, that style was in there. I love that. I love how he does that. Like, it's cool and well put together, but
I'm pretty sure he didn't direct the Ocean's movies, but like that was whenever they were doing those jump cut scenes, like that was what I first thought of. Like,
yeah, and I mean they got scenes like that if you go all the way back to like the original like Evil Deads and stuff like that. Like it's I'm not saying he's the first one to do it, but the way that he does it and implements in his movies, like he perfected that. Like that's his signature for sure. The other thing that he does a lot that I enjoy is his incorporation of music. So like if you look at his body of work, the way he uses like songs you might not expect and like incorporates them in there, like it really, he knows what to add into the movie, and it definitely adds to the overall experience, in my opinion. And I'm a music guy too.
Yeah, you know what really grinds my gears is when like movies, instead of trying to use like either like a well-known song that's been around, or they like, you know, get an artist to record a song for their movies, when they just use the stupid like opera music. Like it's 2020. We don't need that shit anymore.
You know
Like
why they do that?
use some why?
Because it's free.
Yeah, budget restrictions.
Yeah, there's no copyright on like old opera songs.
Well, I meant like the when they just add in like some instrumental play like
classical music.
Yeah, but like it's not really like like a known song, you know. It's just like they get an orchestra to like make a song for, or make like some sound bites, like use a song, like yeah, it works so much better.
Yeah, I love the songs that were used in Shaun of the Dead. You had obviously like the big scene with Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now."
The Brits love Queen.
That's true. So does Bug.
I do love Queen.
No, he is a queen.
Oh, I
No,
keep
I do
misunderstanding
love
on that. That's on me. Sorry, Bug.
Yeah,
what
whatever.
other songs that use Zombie Nation?
Yeah, I love Zombie Nation.
Yeah.
It still gets me amped to this day.
Zombie.
They used it a little bit differently than I would have. You know, I was making the movie, but hey, that's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz. What I'm trying to think of some of the other songs they used in here.
Honestly, those were the only two I even caught.
There was a couple other they used. There was one they used that you only briefly catch it, and if you were like a fan of the original Dawn of the Dead, so like when they were doing like the clips and stuff on the TV at the end, when like the zombies were going through that one like game show thing, the goofy sound effect like song that's from the original Dawn of the Dead. It's the name of the song's The Gonk.
The conch.
You would know it if you heard it. It's used in I don't know if it was a New Amsterdam or like some type of beer commercial.
New Amsterdam's a vodka.
Yeah, but I think it's a beer commercial that sounds like I don't know. It was in one
We've gotten way off track.
Yeah. Hey, that's that's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz, baby.
But yeah, Edgar Wright. I mean, check out any one of his movies: Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim. I actually really like that Scott Pilgrim movie. It's done well. So on to the cast here. Main character Shaun, played by Simon Pegg. This was his first like breakout movie. He's been in like a ton of things since. Like he even got to be in like the Star Treks. I feel like a lot of people know him from Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
What else you got coming up here?
Are they making another Mission Impossible movie?
I don't know, but the last one was
says
awesome.
2021.
He was in the Star Trek reboot.
Yeah, he actually, I think he directed the last Star Trek. Also, I'm not 100%. I could just be making that up, but he was in it as well. He's had some cameos and some things too, like like in The Force Awakens when Rey's on Jakku or wherever the fuck she was, that like big fat monster that was like gives her the rations for like the scrap that she turns in. That was Simon Pegg.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have that "fuck you, Mrs. Doubtfire" money yet.
Nope, that's not many people do. The other thing that I really liked him in, Boog, you probably saw it. I know we were talking about how you didn't see it, which blows my mind because I thought you would really enjoy it. Is Paul with the Alien? Also, his co-star in this was also in it, Nick Frost. So it's like weird that you get the pair together, and it's not directed by Edgar Wright, but I really did like that movie.
Al, you've never seen Paul?
I've never seen Paul.
He would love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great
if
movie.
I can find it on a streaming service this weekend, I am going to watch it because, well, there's nothing else to fucking do.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz, baby.
Is that gonna be the new catchphrase for this podcast?
It really should.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. All right, so that was Simon Pegg. Nick, we talked about Nick Frost. Plays Ed, his buddy. He's often like that's like a perfect like, well, because they are buddies in real life, but like they're both good actors, but they come off very very believable.
They work well together on screen as well. Like you would think in real life they are good friends, which I'm gonna go ahead and assume they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Based
they have
on the fact that
chemistry,
the number of movies they've been in together. But yeah, I mean they have very good on screen chemistry.
I'm trying to see if he's in anything else by himself. He was on a couple episodes of that Into the Badlands TV series that I never watched on AMC, but I know it's on there.
He was in Ready Player One. He played the curator.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I didn't know he was in the TV show The Boys.
Was he?
Yeah, it says he played Hugh Campbell, 2019, The Boys.
Who was Hugh Campbell?
I don't know. I actually haven't watched that show
Oh,
yet.
he was on this show that my sister told me to watch, Mr. Sloan. But I also didn't watch that. Now that I got time. Oh, he was in Attack the Block. That one has the dude from the new Star Wars in it. It wasn't bad. It's like aliens come and they're attacking. These creatures are attacking this like high-rise building in London.
I think you're thinking of the movie Signs.
I think you're thinking of the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Damn it, you're right.
Oh,
That has been our podcast.
Hey, that's showbiz. We gotta cut. We're using it too much. We gotta cut it back. Oh, there was something else I was gonna say, but yeah, you gotta watch Paul. You gotta look for that.
Yeah,
That's worth it.
if I can find it this weekend, I will watch it.
All right,
I'll find it for you and I'll send you the link.
Wow, what a team player.
I'll do the dirty work. You just sit down and relax.
Whoa, too far, book.
That's what she said.
Really, we've accounted to that's what she said jokes.
Yeah, might as well just. That's it. Oh, well, been a good 14 episode run.
Are we really gonna pull it for that one?
Yep, you're.
Hey, that's what she said. Oh, God, we're back, baby. All right, so some more of the cast here. You got Kate Ashfield played Liz. I thought she was really good in the movie. I liked her accent. She had like a hardcore British accent. I just like I said.
I
Shaun.
love British accents.
Some if they get too like Cockney, it's just like sounds like someone's got garbage in their mouth. But like I know what you're saying. Like
if they're like more Cockney, like it's a funny accent, but also like just like a regular British accent, like it makes things funnier. I at least from my opinion.
Shaun.
And yeah, like I mean the way she like just said like certain words, like you didn't really get that with Ed and Shaun.
Yeah.
But
I like the way like British people use different phrases like than we do here in America. Like if someone was like, "Hey, you got like ink on your shirt," or "Hey, you got like," if it was blood, like, "Oh, like you had some blood on you," but they like their phrases seem like more proper or something. Like that's how they phrase it. Like, "You got red on you." Like, okay, yeah. I like that. I just like it was different. Like a lot of times, I just it's another pro, but I'll talk about it early. It's just like a lot of times, like a British comedy, like there's classics like Monty Python and things like that, but a lot of it, like if you ever watch like the British Office, like that's one of the most boring shows. Like sometimes there's like a lost, not in translation because we speak the same language, just but like that sense of comedy doesn't get through. Like it doesn't come through to us. Like
it's not a different language, but it's a different I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's basically like it derives from different.
Yeah, we just can't relate to it as well. But that's not like this movie transcends that. Like it's not affected by that, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You also have Lucy Lucy Davis plays Liz's friend Diane, a failed actress. She's actually from the British Office show as well. And I think I've seen her in a couple more things, but nothing too crazy to talk there. You got Dylan Moran that plays the other friend of Liz, who also is interested in her. It's like plays like this Weasley guy.
He sucked.
Yeah, he gets a good death in the movie. That's also something. Another pro of the movie is they have a lot of throwback to classic zombie movies, and his death is exactly the death from, if you've ever seen Day of the Dead, George Romero's original, which you guys probably haven't seen it, but like the one scene where the general gets torn apart and like ripping that, like it's spot on to that scene. There's a couple others like that in the movie that I appreciate.
I've never seen it, but I did know that they paid homage to a lot of the older zombie movies. I'm sorry, you can't say that word. But
oh yeah, that's another thing I loved about this movie. So how many times have you seen a zombie movie and they call them something different, like The Walking Dead, they call them walkers, or
yes,
they call them ghouls or something like that. Like if you're taking in place like, and they did it right. So they were playing a video game to start the movie that had zombies in it, time splitters, like. So you can't have that type of media in a believable world not know. Like if zombie outbreak happened today, like we would know, be like, oh, they're zombies. Like I appreciated that they acknowledged it, but to like
and
not
they
like overuse it. Yeah,
made fun of it.
like
Yeah.
don't say that. Like it just sounds ridiculous. But that's another thing I appreciate about this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that to be very very funny, and not a laugh out loud way, but more you like a little chuckle to yourself, like yeah, they get it.
All right, well that's pretty much the main cast there. You had
The guy that played the third roommate, Peter.
what's that guy? I've seen him in something.
Sarah Nafowicz or something like that.
That's how I would have. Yeah, that was a good attempt.
Yeah, he's been in multiple things, mainly supporting roles.
Oh, he was
side characters, but yeah,
he was in
he's a very good actor.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in so many things that it's not normally like a huge screen grab kind of actor, but
yeah,
he
has
he plays a role well.
He has a very recognizable face. He also voices Kong the Conqueror in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 books, so I know how you like those games.
And he also voiced agency director in the Pickle Rick episode, Rick and Morty.
Oh my dude! So let me tell you this: so there's this scientist, and he turns himself into a pickle. Funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. And that's showbiz, baby. Oh fuck! He played the sommelier in John Wick 2. Like, so he's in like a lot of like random smaller roles.
Yeah, he's always like a side character, but he's always like he's in so much that like you've seen him in multiple things. You just never knew his name because he's never been a big time actor.
Yeah. Another thing I loved about this movie, like, so when someone's like a dick of a character, which like he was a dick about it, but like he was kind of in the right about like Ed being a shitty roommate. But there's ways of going about it. But he was a dick about it. But I hate like so you think in the movie like when they find out he's a zombie before they leave the house and they just leave him in there, you're like, oh, he's never gonna get like you like to see like people that suck like get theirs in the end, and you're like, oh, he's not going to, like it's whatever. But then all the way flash forward to near the end, and then he came back into the pub, and then he gets taken out, and it's like you get that payoff there. Like I appreciate that. I appreciate what they did there for sure.
I don't think it was a death that was needed because him turning into a zombie, and like you said, like he wasn't really a bad roommate. He was just the one that would call out their bullshit, and you almost like sympathize with him at the beginning, especially whenever Ed puts on the "I'm a prick" sign on the back of his suit coat, and you feel bad for him because he's got to put up with their bullshit, and he probably can't afford his own place in England. But Yeah, I mean, his death at the end there was, it was a nice uplifting because Shaun even apologized before shooting right in between the eyes.
Yeah. Another big character, Shaun's stepdad in the movie, is famous actor Bill Nye. I guarantee you've seen him in a bunch
The science
of things.
guy?
No, the British guy. um, he some of his most notable is he played Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean. He's been in like
No, he played. He didn't play Davy Jones. He played Orlando Bloom's father.
sure
I'm 100% on this.
because I'm picturing that and that's who that guy looks like. But then
Yeah, he
IMDb
100%.
saying Davy Jones.
No, he 100% played his dad.
Yeah, it's saying Davy Jones, but he looks 100% like his dad. Maybe it's just it's saying multiple movies that he was Davy Jones.
Then who the hell played his dad?
I don't know because that. Fuck, we're gonna go down this rabbit. I'll click on it here.
All right, just
No, I got to pull it up.
it was Stellan Skarsgård played his dad.
That's fucking
Who?
Bill Skarsgård's dad.
Huh?
Pennywise.
Bill Skarsgård.
It.
Yeah.
I just know him as the scientist from the shitty Thor movies. Except the third one.
The
which
third one's
wasn't in.
awesome. Yeah, the third one's.
Dude, we've gone way off track.
Some other things he was in. He was one of the lead vampires, Victor, in Underworld. But he's in a ton of stuff. Very, very famous actor, and he did a real good job as like a hard ass stepdad that's like hard on Shaun, but then like he justifies it before that. It's just really well done, well acted movie for sure. And then the last real like huge character in it is Shaun's mom Barbara, and like we're talking about callbacks to the zombies, like that was on the phone like when they tell like stay there, like we're coming to get you Barbara, like that's a callback to the original Night of the Living Dead. Also, I'm pretty sure I haven't listened to the beginning of the podcast in a while, but I think that line's in the beginning of this podcast.
It is.
Okay,
We're
Boog, you
coming.
listen to the podcast? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't got
Somebody's
much things
got
to
to.
do.
But Barbara was played by Penelope Wilton. I've seen her in a few things before as well too, but yeah, that's pretty much she did well as well. Like I didn't really like her character a lot, but the more I thought about it, like I know people like that. Like that's the part. Anytime you're like, oh, that's not believable. That, like especially nowadays, like let's talk about that for a second. So my biggest like I love zombie movies. Like we're from the zombie capital. Like the modern zombie was made in Pittsburgh. Like, but my biggest issue I've always had with these zombie movies is like if you think about these slow shambling, like first off, we're in the United States of America where there's like 10 times as many guns as there are people. Like you'd easily take them out. Like yeah, you might have some reservations about like loved ones coming back, stuff like that, but like for the most part, like it would be over in like a day. It wouldn't be that crazy. But then if you look at this modern pandemic that we got going on, then you realize like, well, with misinformation and people not believing and just the overall how stupid people are,
People are fucking morons.
you could have a zombie outbreak because by the time that people start actually believing what's going on, you got New York City that will have like 2 million, 3 million zombies. So that if anything positive came out of the coronavirus, it's that it made zombie movies more believable. But Barbara's character in this movie, like she was just like so oblivious to everything, and then just going through like it actually adds because you could see how Shaun could kind of be like that. And but then she's to the extreme, just like, oh, like I think this person lives here, and just like while there's like serious craziness going on. But then I thought about it, like I know people like that, like there just is like it's
Yeah, your co-host is like that.
Bug would be like a Bug sticks his hand in people's mouths like right now in normal times. Like you'd be a zombie like day one, Bug. You might be
Fun fact for you.
patient zero.
Fun fact for you. I did mute my mic so I can pick something out of my teeth for a second there.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah, respect the rules.
All right, well, that's the cast there. We'll do a little bit of plot action here. All right, Bug, what's the plot of this movie?
All right, so the plot of Shaun of the Dead. All right, takes place London, England.
Whoa.
There's an electronic salesman named Shaun. He has no direction in life. Talk about loser. Okay.
He works
He's
at a chain store.
Oh well, let's not get into that because that's irrelevant. He's a loser.
Okay.
He is disrespected by his colleagues. The other electronic salesman. He must have really bad sales scores.
Well,
normal things. He does not get along well with his stepfather, Philip, if you are curious, Philip, and is dumped by his girlfriend. Which, can you blame her? Can you blame her?
Well, they spend most of their time every night, every date they do, they go to the same pub, the Winchester.
I mean, if it's good, why change it? That's
Hey,
how I look at things.
Ladies like you to change it up once in a while. You'll learn. They'll teach you.
All right, so Shaun goes to the pub, start of the movie, gets super drunk, wasted, dim-witted, passes out. Wakes up the next morning, boom! Zombies. Zombie apocalypse. Although he doesn't realize it at first. He doesn't realize it. He goes through his normal routine. He wakes up, puts his little tie on, brushes his teeth. Actually, people in England don't brush his teeth. He combs his hair. Does he have hair?
Hey, you got a little. You got like
Little, like on the sides there.
Big Al circa
Oh,
2015.
oh, that's rough. Talk about a serious loser, man.
Jesus, man, you're real harsh on Shaun here, man.
Hey,
I thought this would draw a lot of parallels to your life.
I knows it when I see. Oh no, hey, no, I'm not. I'm no bum. Okay, I don't go to pubs. One, there's a pandemic. Two, can't afford it.
Been to a pub with you.
Yeah, I saved up for years for that.
which is even more ridiculous because I don't know. I feel like pub's like a European thing, but there was a pub in Pittsburgh.
There is.
It was good.
Yeah. It was very good.
I digress. We digress.
We digress.
So basically, the gist of it.
Basically, goes through his normal routine, doesn't notice anything, and then him and his buddy Ed slowly notice
There's a
zombies
zombie in the backyard.
There's a zombie in their backyard. They're like, "What's
Don't
going
you hate
on?"
that's a rough Tuesday. You wake up and there's a goddamn zombie in your backyard.
Yes. So they kill the zombie in their backyard. They're like, "What do we do now?" Turn on the news. Boom, zombie apocalypse. The normal shebang.
It looks a lot like the news right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Except you don't have. I'm not even gonna try it.
It's not even exciting. Not
No,
even
it's
exciting. What else? So basically, from there, the whole like meat and potatoes. That's a British saying, right? Meat and potatoes. The story is that they decide to hatch a plan, go rescue his ex-girlfriend, go pick up his mom, and then wait this out at the pub. Not the best. Your favorite word there, Boog. It was a dumb plan, but his heart was in the right place. Things do not go according to this flimsy plan, but I'm not going to spoil anything, but definitely worth a watch. Yeah, watch it.
Yeah, definitely watch it. Just if you like zombies, watch it. If you're friends at your house and you're having a little party, watch it. Um, I don't know, if you know someone named Al, watch it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's it. You nailed it, but you did good. This is actually better than our
Thanks.
normal plot synopsis. Fuck, last
Yeah,
episode I forgot even to put one in.
yeah, we don't need it. I've been
Fuck it. That's what we're saying in 2020. 2020, fuck it.
dude, 2020 just told us to fuck it.
Hey, that's showbiz, baby.
That showbiz, baby. Oh yeah.
All right, well, let's do a little pros and cons action here. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, rip some pros out there, Bug.
One of my pro is it is a Simon Pegg and a Nick Frost movie. I love those guys. Every
Yeah,
movie that
I
they've
agree.
done together, I enjoy.
Yeah, I haven't seen a movie with those two that I haven't liked.
Yeah, I think I actually ended up seeing Hot Fuzz before this one. And obviously, I think this one is a little bit better than Hot Fuzz, but I mean, both movies are just equally hilarious.
Yeah, I enjoy this movie more than Hot Fuzz because obviously I lean towards horror movies, but Hot Fuzz is on par with this movie. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hot Fuzz is a timeless. It's a classic for me.
See, that's the third one.
I would say this is a classic, not Hot Fuzz.
The third one in Edgar Wright's trilogy, like all of them are like unrelated, but like it's considered their like Coronado trilogy or whatever. The World's End, that one's also really good too, but it's not as good as the first two. So it's like obviously suffers like the third in the trilogy, even though they're all not related, but they all star Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but that one's really good as well, just not as good as these two.
I think that one has the most language barrier in terms of like their British comedy movies. That's why I
as
think
far
that
I could
drops down a lot.
I could see that because it's, I mean, the backstory in that one is a group of buddies that were drinking buddies like in college. They try to do this pub run, like or pub crawl, whatever you call it, like to go to all the different bars, and they never completed it, and then they come back like what 20 years or something later, and they're going to try to do it again, and on that same night it just happens that there's an alien invasion. So it's just like a group of drunk British guys, but I think of all of them, that one's like the most like emotional of them.
Man, I hate when that happens. Just go out for a pub crawl and aliens.
No, when we go out for a bar crawl, the only bad thing happens is you're falling over in an alleyway in garbage. Or no, the worst thing is when the pub crawls over and you come back and you put in the frozen pizza in the oven and then fall asleep and then it catches on fire.
Happened one time.
That's all it takes.
2 times.
Oh, I tripped over a line and I don't hear the end of it.
Oh God, bug. Hey, that's showbiz.
All right, next pro con. Anyone?
Pros for me. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I just enjoy the way that Edgar Wright makes films. Like he has an eye for it. He has his own like unique style to it. The combination with the music, his editing, the way he frames shots, the way that he can pay homage to like classic movies and different things, but not. It's subtle. It's like not straight up in your face. Like the "We're coming to get you, Barbara" one's right in your face, but other ones like it's just little hints and nods, and it's not like everything nowadays. It's like it's supposed to be this like nostalgia trip. Like, hey, remember this? The member berries. But the way he like the way, like even though it's like a comedy, like this is actually like art. Like he has artistic style to his filmmaking.
Yeah, that was one of my pros as well. Was the fact that it pays homage to some of the other zombie movies and without necessarily spelling it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I haven't seen most of them, but I knew like the one death scene was paying homage to which one was that?
Day of the Dead. Good old
Day of the Dead.
Good old George, homeboy George Romero.
Yeah, some of the other scenes, Yeah, one of the other things, it was just generally funny. Like they were able to just make the movie funny. They didn't have to try too hard to make it funny either.
Yeah, that the comedy definitely hits in this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was it's like us sitting down on a Saturday to watch college football, and like the jokes we rip and stuff like
Yeah.
that. A lot of the so it definitely shows a lot to 2004 to 2020. There's some jokes in this movie that you couldn't make now.
Oh, absolutely.
Like one of them got a dude recently fired from NASCAR.
Yeah. I don't remember that part of it, but
When he pulls up in the Jaguar and opens the car door and he says, "What's up?"
oh yeah. Yeah, I just completely missed that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's just a funny movie. Like you don't, it's a movie that you can just throw on at any point and watch, and you don't need to be in a certain mood or
Well,
if you.
that's something that makes it really real. Like has a lot of rewatchability. Is I've seen this movie a bunch of times now, but every time I pick up on like a different joke. Like there's like a lot of like jokes you don't catch the first time watching it.
John, you know this better than I would. Um, I found it unique that there was a zombie movie that took place in a British area. Was that the first zombie movie that has
In
had that
England?
type of setting?
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure 28 Days Later came out like 2 years before this, and that takes place right in London.
Okay.
But those were like the fast like rage zombies. Those are the actual zombies that like that would be scary. Is like if there was a virus that changed people into like these hypermaniac running zombies. Like I know people say, oh, those aren't real zombies, but like who cares if they're real zombies or not? Like running zombies are fucking scary.
I got a question I thought of when I was watching this movie for you guys. A little bonus question out there for
A
you.
little better question.
No, bonus.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Bug.
If you were in the movie, so you're in England where they don't have guns.
Dummies.
What would be your preferred method of killing the zombies? Like what item or weapon would you use?
Spear.
So they don't have baseball bats because they don't play baseball there.
Okay, but you're an American living there. You probably have a baseball bat.
That's true.
I'm using a baseball bat. I'm going Barry Bonds and some zombies' heads.
That's the most
Taking them yard.
That's the most ideal, because you wouldn't really want, if you think about an axe or a machete, because those are made for like chopping and hacking, where they actually would get caught, and that's the last thing. If you got like a horde of like 3-4 zombies around you, get your axe caught in someone's skull, you'd be fucked.
And if
but
you think about
bat's
like,
your best option. You go in aluminum or wooden.
Oh, give me aluminum all day.
Yeah, because the wooden one, you're just gonna crack the bat.
Yeah, eventually you're gonna dent the aluminum.
Yeah, but you can keep swinging dented aluminum.
Yeah, what happens whenever your wooden baseball bat breaks?
Wouldn't know. I didn't hit a lot of dingers.
Yeah, we know.
we know.
Bug hit for contact.
I hit for singles and singles only.
Hey, at least you didn't play like your brother. Just he batted to get hit.
And then he fielded so he can be taken off. No, but my weapon per choice would definitely be like a spear or something. Long range. I feel like I can trick the zombies enough to hoard them into one spot, and I can just sit there and poke them.
Another weapon I think that they could have used better was just a good old fashioned Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
By the time
since
they
the
got
window
stuck in
the window was already cracked, and they had a lot of other like bickering and drama going on. But if they would have, instead of lighting the Molotov, they didn't even end up doing the Molotov at that point, but they used the alcohol to light the bar to protect themselves at that scene. If they would have just made the Molotov cocktails and been throwing them out there was such a congregated horde out in the street that they could have just taken out a ton of them.
Yeah.
How long would that have taken though to kill them?
Like a Molotov?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like it's impractical.
It's your best option at that point.
Yeah, if that's your only option.
I mean, we're talking practical. They shouldn't have went to the Winchester. They should have stayed at that like second story high rise that when he goes and picks Liz up, because you can just like throw shit into the stairway and there's no way those zombies can't climb up the wall or anything like that. You've been fine. Like long term, who knows? But you see at the end of the movie when the military shows up, if you could just hold out long enough. Pretty much that's my strategy is um, go to a higher up building and just either destroy the stairs or barricade them. That'd be my go-to.
Makes sense.
Tell the zombies learn to fly planes, and then you're screwed.
And we got another 9/11 on our hands. Jesus.
Whoa.
Wow.
Come on, Bug. You're better than that.
That was not me.
You're just out of control. Hey, but you know what they say.
That's
showbiz, baby.
I like that. That's gonna be a thing now. Shit.
There was a good epilogue to this movie. That was my final pro that I wrote down. I like a good epilogue. This had a good epilogue. Military came, everyone was friends, and you get to stay with the ones you fell in love with during the movie. So
he still got his buddy there.
I did think of a con here while we were talking, and Liz, whenever she breaks up with Shaun, she says like, "Oh, I don't want to like end up just at the Winchester every day for the rest of my life." Like, and then in the epilogue, they pretty like that's what happens. So she's pretty much like,
That's so. I know I was hard on earlier. And I said there really wasn't a lot of character growth, but I mean when you put it like that, so like I really like watched closely on that scene because I always thought after the first couple of viewings like, oh, like then she just became cool with it, realized it wasn't that bad. But it like them talking like they don't go like, so she says they're gonna go down, get the Sunday newspaper, and then they're gonna go get some brunch somewhere, then come back and just chill out. Like they don't actually go to the Winchester.
I could have swore she said that we'll end up at the Winchester.
That's what I thought too. But the first, I've seen it a bunch of times. This last time I watched it for this, I realized like, oh shit, like because that was coming through. I really like that's when I started thinking like there really isn't character growth. Like Ed doesn't really grow as a character. Like he never really sees his own faults. Like a lot of the characters don't grow. But then if you really think about it, the only characters that really have any type of growth is Simon and I guess Liz to a small extent, but then they're the only ones that survive. So I guess as far as like a metaphor, it would be like if you don't grow as a person, you're just gonna like mindlessly walk through your life like a zombie. Pretty deep.
Anyone else? Finals, pros, cons? Anything you want to mention?
What else do we?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm trying. I thought I had another one. I mean, we pretty much touched on them all there. Book always touches on them.
I do a lot of touches. I have big hands. I like to feel how objects fit in my hand. A lot of them don't.
By objects, he means Peters.
Hey.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up here. So, ratings, recommendations. Who wants to go first?
Al, you're the guest. Do you wanna do the
Well,
dance?
hey, let me remind you, you're also a guest here, buddy.
Go ahead, Bo. You go first.
I recommend this to anyone who's at a party.
Fucking idiot.
That's your
what I'm
go.
doing at a party. I'm just gonna throw in a fucking movie.
Look, when's the last time you've been to a party?
1997.
That was the year you were born.
It was my party.
It was what's the one where they a brisk?
Circumcision?
That was Bug's last party he went to.
Oh God. I don't know, recommendations. I'm not good at this stuff. That's why I always say parties. Recommendations though. Anyone who likes Simon Pegg or Nick Frost or their movies together, just watch it.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
if you enjoy their movies, I would argue that this is the best. But all of them are good with that duo, but I'd argue that this is their best one.
Definitely top 2. But for my rating, I wouldn't say it's a perfect movie. I can't think of any cons right now, but I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. Doesn't mean it's a bad movie, but it's still a fantastic movie.
Yeah, what realm would a
Definitely
9 out of a
recommend
10 be a
seeing it.
bad movie, Bug?
I don't know.
On a scale from 9 to 10?
And then you'd also have to specify that 10 was the highest.
Yeah, well, you know. So 9 out of 10. It was a good movie. Recommend watching it. It's well worth it for the time. This is a movie that I wish I could go and see in theaters.
Yeah,
I feel like it would be fantastic
this
on
is
the big screen.
This is one I wish I would have seen in theaters, but I mean,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
When this one came out, I was barely aware that it was out. I accidentally found out that it was coming out. I still, even visiting their website, had no idea like what this movie was about. It kind of came out of nowhere. As far as my recommendations, I would recommend it to anyone that enjoys zombie movies, anyone that enjoys horror comedies, or even just comedies. It's not very scary. Anyone that has a pulse, I would recommend this to.
Even people at parties.
Even people at parties, Book, if that makes you happy.
I mean, goosebumps right now. Yeah.
I mean we've said pretty much only positive things, and I tried to dig deep to find a con. Just being fair, being impartial. The little one is there isn't a lot of character growth as far as, but even just talking this out, like there still is some, and I guess there is deeper meaning behind that. So I mean, as far as ratings, I'm gonna give it a perfect 10. I mean, that's not something I'm gonna do often, but this is a movie. There's like maybe a handful of movies that if they're on TV or if I have an option to watch it, nothing else on, like I'll watch it. Like this is a movie I'll watch anytime it's on. So it's definitely up there for me. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. If you like things, watch this movie.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I recommend this to pretty much everyone except that bitch Carol Baskins.
Oh,
Shots fired.
That's showbiz.
But yeah, I mean, if you just want to waste like an hour and a half or 2 hours during quarantine here, just try to find it, flip it on.
Yeah, it's
you'll enjoy
not
it.
Not even wasting.
I wouldn't say
That's
waste.
just, yeah,
It's
it's just
entertainment.
passing the time. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really else to do, so I can't recommend this enough. I'm gonna give it a score of a 9 out of 10.
Damn. See, it sounds like the quarantine's getting to you a little bit, bud.
Oh, I mean, I've lost my mind.
See, my way of life really hasn't changed much. I wouldn't say that I'm like an introvert. I just don't like not that I don't like going to do things. It's just I just am okay with not doing. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's watch this fucking movie. That's all I gotta say. So we'll wrap it up here. A few ending plugs. If you're listening to the podcast, awesome. If you don't like the whatever you found it on, we're on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. Even if we have a YouTube channel, it's posted on there, as well as we have some like Let's Play game videos. Hunter's HorrorVision for that. If you have any questions, concerns, want Boog's home address, send me an email at Hunter's HorrorVision. We'll get back to you on that. If you want to just stop by his house, he's like just chilling. He'll probably put this movie on for you.
If someone mails Boog a bag of dicks, I will give you a free T-shirt.
Yeah, I'll get the t-shirts printed up, and then Al will deliver it to your house. We got nothing else going on. We're on quarantine.
How much does a bag of dicks cost?
Oh, it sounds like Doug's interested.
No,
think
'cause
like-
I'm interested in the ratio between like, hey, here's a free T-shirt versus you paying, I don't know, $50
they're like
for a bag
50.
of
I think
dicks
it's
to be delivered.
$15. Last I checked,
You would
I think
know
they were
that.
like 15.
You would know that. Last time you checked, when have you checked? Who checks
Like
on this
last
stuff?
week. I wanted to mail somebody a bag of dicks.
Let me guess who that person was. Me.
No, it was
That's
not you.
that's showbiz, baby.
It wasn't me.
Alright.
There's more than one person you
Uh,
wish to get a bag of dicks.
All right. So if you want to reach out to us, we're on Twitter as well. We post stuff up there often. That's just at HorrorVision. Send us a DM on there. We'll get back to you. Anyone want to see like a specific movie or anything, like even something like lesser known, like we're willing to check it out. We got the time now for sure. Other than that, does anyone got anything else they want to say, or any other things they want to promote?
Promote. Yeah, I'd like to promote ABC Mouse because they've been really helping me on learning how to read. I really wish.
You know what game I used to
They-
love, like educational game I loved as a kid? Math Blaster. They still make Math
That
Blaster?
was such a good game.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that game.
They still make that?
I'm sure you can find it.
I can find out. Let's see.
All right, while you do that, we'll wrap up. Al, you got any last thing you want to say?
No. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, we always anytime, Al. Anytime.
Yeah, maybe the noted chicken shit can watch a scary movie during the quarantine, and maybe I'll jump in there and give you guys a little different perspective.
That's how I know the quarantine's getting to you.
Oh yeah.
I think the next one we're gonna do, we'll keep the quarantine theme going here, but we might. Oh fuck, we still got to record the Invisible Man one. We'll get around to that, but I know we were talking to keep the key. Oh, it was actually really good.
It was a great movie.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't stand that girl that was in Mad Men that starred in that. I can't stand her. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Carol Baskins.
She could
Fuck that
actually. She
bitch.
could play Carol Baskins in a movie. That would be believable.
She's got the
The
face
movie
for it.
of her murdering her husband. Yeah.
But I think the next we're trying to decide between the next two. Keep the quarantine theme going, either World War Z or 28 Days Later.
I've seen World War Z.
All right, we could do that one. Little Brad Pitt action, but we'll figure it out. But we'll definitely be glad to have you back there. Other than that, I think that's it. This has been your Horror Vision. Stay safe out there. Don't fucking cough and sneeze on people, you assholes.
And stay in quarantine. Don't be a dick that ruins shit for everyone else.
And remember, if you don't want people around you, just walk with a limp. That scares all my friends away.
All right, check you later.